Harry is so drug-addled and so inconsistent. And one minute he's saying he's not angry and there's no point in being angry. And the other, he's saying he's furious and he needs to fight this noble struggle. Well, which is it? It can't be both.
The mainstream media won't tell you the truth about the tissue of lies that Prince Harry delivered on stage in New York, but I will, and so will Lady Colin Campbell, who is here for a deep dive on one of the most revolting, self-obsessed, and quite frankly misleading performances by the Sussexes, or at least one of the Sussexes, since Megxit. So to set this up, Prince Harry decided to go to be interviewed on stage by Outspoken of the New York Times to avoid having to appear with his wife, Meghan Markle, at a major event at the Paley Centre honouring Tyler Perry, for which he was on the organising committee. So what we received on stage was a whole load of victimhood, half-truths, and I actually believe a very, very dangerous bid, and remember, this is what it's all about, for Prince Harry to shut down his enemies. So, before we get reaction from Lady Colin Campbell, let's have a look at Harry talking about how he's sick, surprise, surprise, of the MSM controlling his narrative.
Well, I think certainly throughout my life, there have been moments when I have read a lot, and there have been moments when I've read nothing. And I highly recommend the latter. Because once you stop reading the stuff about yourself, you've automatically removed the power from their hands. Because with that level of fear comes an element of control. And one of the reasons why I probably didn't I guess, remove myself from the situation sooner was because of that very fear. Right. That fear of, well, they control the narrative, so whatever I do, whatever I say, they can choose their version of reality to be able to effectively control me and keep me in that space.
I mean, Lady C, it's just astonishingly ridiculous because Harry seems to forget that the media only ever covered his actual behaviour. But before he met Meghan, he had no problem with it, Lady C, because he was the most popular royal, at times even beating Queen Elizabeth II in the opinion polls. He only had a problem, didn't he, when the coverage turned negative?
Yes, and what I find amazing is that Harry is prosecuting a case against a newspaper company, one of the two largest centrist newspaper companies in this country. He's doing Newsgroup and he's also doing Associated, which are the two. So if Harry has his way, he would have emasculated, if not totally destroyed, the two largest and most important centrist newspaper companies in this country. Think about it for a second.
And Lady C, just to interrupt for people who don't know, Newsgroup newspapers obviously publish The Sun, used to publish The News of the World, Associated published The Daily Mail, The Mail on Sunday, and the Mail Online website.
That's right. Sorry.
Just in case people don't know the names of the companies involved. And of course, he's already gone after the Mirror Group, hasn't he? But you go on, sorry.
But well, he did, yeah, but the Mirror Group I don't want to miss my point. My point was that he has gone after them, notwithstanding the fact that when he speaks about accountability, there is no doubt that all the newspaper groups in this country, chief of which really were Newsgroup, the Sun, but primarily the News of the Screws, which had to shut down. The most popular newspaper in this country was shut down. And he's gone after them, notwithstanding the fact that the Leveson inquiry has already been finished. It was judged to be not in the public interest for it to continue, because we need a free and fair press in this country. And I'm not saying that there weren't atrocities. And believe me, I have suffered at the hands of all the major newspaper companies.
And it was
And
despicable.
each of the 5 of the major newspaper companies in this country for libel and succeeded. So I'm not speaking from the vantage point of being Pollyanna, and I suffered personally. But Harry is trying to destroy a free press in this country, notwithstanding the fact that they have already accounted for the damage they did. Rupert Murdoch has paid out close to £1 billion. What is Harry talking about?
Yes, and also
Tom Watson is an absolute disgrace unto humanity.
yes, who's the other person who is going ahead with this court case next month.
Yes.
And I think it's also really important, Lady C, it wasn't just the closure of the News of the World. The editor of the News of the World, Andy Coulson, who was then working for the Prime Minister of the UK, David Cameron, and the royal editor of the News of the World, Clive Goodman, who was responsible for the hacking of William and Harry, they went to jail. So there already has been accountability. What this is about when it comes to Harry is vengeance and revenge. And that brings me on quite nicely to quite a long piece of the interview I want to show you, Lady C, because I found this one very odd. Harry's talking a lot about therapy, but he then invokes Princess Diana, surprise, surprise, his mother, who he says would not want him to be angry with the press. So this is actually a very confused man who, as we've discussed before, has been incredibly mixed up by the mumbo jumbo that has been inserted into his brain on a daily basis. But watch this.
You've talked a lot about going to therapy. Has that helped you?
It's helped me massively. I highly encourage it.
How so?
For me, it burst a few bubbles for me. I think, again, being brought up within an institution, because I think, look, a lot of people may think that I fit in a certain box. I actually don't. I kind of straddle many different worlds. I wear different hats, and I'm involved in so many different organizations, charitable business, and such like. But and again, you know, on these subjects that you're bringing up. Not therapy specifically, but I'm certainly by no means an expert. However, I do have a lot of experience,
right,
as you said, from childhood growing up. Therapy was really the thing for me that, again, bearing in mind the circumstances, being brought up in an institution, I hunted, I was 10 years in the military. There's a very clear side of the road that one might say that he's clearly on that. And then obviously, as we know, my life changed a lot. So I am sort of, dare I say it, straddling two very, very different sides in this case. But no, therapy for me was a blessing, because it was really what I would describe as cleaning the windshield.
But what was the lesson for you about dealing with both this idea of your own life that you knew, that was factual, mm-hmm, and this other life which you would read about?
One might say, I could never say I'd made peace with it. This is starting to feel a little bit like therapy, actually.
Like he gets angry at this point.
And now group therapy. But I think I think in my situation, one would hope to be able to make peace with it. And to a certain degree, I made peace with some of the past. But what it really did was open my eyes and open my perspective on how to be able to resolve the inner war, the inner turmoil for myself. And a large part of that, and I think I've spoken about this before, was I was always convinced that I needed to be angry or frustrated towards the press because of what they did to my mum. And through therapy and a few other bits and pieces, what really helped me to open my eyes was the reality that actually there's no point in being depressed, sad, or specifically angry at the press, right, because it's not going to change anything. It's certainly not what my mum wanted.
Of course it's not what your mum wanted, but he is angry. And he's destroying his life. And also, Lady C, as you know very well, because of course you wrote the book on Princess Diana in the early 90s, his view of her relationship with the media is completely warped.
Yes, it is. I mean, Diana used to leak to the press regularly.
Yes.
And I would refer everybody to Nicholas Coleridge's memoirs, where he points out that he asked Diana to go to Vogue House in Hanover Square. It was supposed to be absolutely secret. He walks her to her car afterwards, and there is a photographer. And he discovered that Diana had tipped off the press. Diana was in a regular touch with the press. The day she died, she is the one who tipped off the press that they were flying from Olbia to Paris, that they were going to go to the Villa Windsor, and then she kept on tipping off the press.
Yes, one of her last phone calls was to Richard Kay, the royal editor of the Daily Mail.
But not only him, she was busy tipping off the paparazzi, photographers, etc. And some of whom I interviewed for my posthumous Diana book, The Real Diana, which was published in America in 98 and here in 2004. So, and as for Harry saying he's not angry with the press, I mean, he has blamed, first of all, he's constantly attacking them. If you're not angry, Harry, why are you attacking them? Because it's not for accountability, because they have already been held to account. So the whole thing from that point of view is a redundancy. Harry is so drug-addled and so inconsistent. And one minute he's saying he's not angry and there's no point in being angry. And the other, he's saying he's furious and he needs to fight this noble struggle. Well, which is it? It can't be both. And Harry has this idea that his mother was somehow an innocent victim. She wasn't that innocent, and she wasn't always a victim. Now, I mean, I'm not saying that Diana didn't at times have a tough time with the press, but so did I. So do practically all people in the public eye. I mean, give me a break, The whole thing is constantly whipping up to justify really rather nasty and destructive actions.
Of course it was. Of course it was, because there is no way that what Diana wanted was for Harry to be on the other side of the world from his brother. Absolutely no way. But look, he continues this theme, Lady C, by claiming that they had to run away from the media. And then we start getting into the nub of the issue, which is Prince Harry wanting to take away our free speech. It's chilling. Watch.
And not just happen to you, but decisions you've made. How much does the media and all of this play into that, do you think?
Yeah, no, of course, a lot. Without question. We were running from something, quite a few things, actually. But just jumping back a little bit, the speech point, in my understanding, is to allow and encourage people to participate, speech in democracies, to allow people to participate in the democracy.
Right.
But the moment that you start normalizing hate speech,
Right.
aren't you taking away free speech from so many other people?
It's very complicated.
It's
speech
complicated.
Yeah.
And which is why, again, one of the reasons why I applaud you for doing these kind of things, not by inviting me, whatever, but being able to do these things, because, again, on social media, every conversation and every complicated topic is squashed into a box.
Listen, I'm a big fan of the First Amendment, right? The First
Harry
Amendment
isn't.
goes much farther, for example, than the rules in the UK in terms of protecting people, right? What do you? I mean, you live here now. What do you think of the First Amendment?
There's no way I'm going to talk about that. What I will say to that is, Actually, I will. I'll plug her book. Dr. Marianne Franks. Do you know what I mean?
I don't.
So Dr. Marianne Franks has just written a book called Fearless Speech, Chapter 4. I highly recommend it for you. You guys are more than welcome to read it as well. But I'm in the process of reading that at the moment, and I think it really encapsulates and explains the current situation with regard free speech, and how in Chapter 4 specifically how social media has done a very good job in defining reckless speech.
Defining reckless speech. And what is that definition?
Read the book. Read the book, man.
God, he's rude. Goodness me, he's rude. I mean, Aaron Sorkin, I don't particularly like the guy, but he's giving him a nice interview, being very kind. And Harry, what a rude, arrogant, entitled guy.
The guy's a jerk, but also he's an idiot. And he can't say what the idea is. So he has to say, read the book instead of explaining what the idea is. And Harry seems to not understand that free speech is not only about people's right in a democracy to uphold the democracy and the established order. Free speech is about being able to change what is in the democracy. And he is malignant and he is poisonous. And I think it all goes back to the 14th of January 2019 at Birkenhead, when Archie did a deep dive. Because before that, there was none of this nonsense about trying to shut down the media. And Harry, by his own account, went to his father and tried to get his father to shut down the media. And his father pointed out to him, sorry, Harry, we need the media and the media need us, and we need to work together. So the answer is no. Harry has no concept of what free speech means. As far as Harry's concerned, he should be able to shut down everybody. And what Harry objects to is the fact that, to a large extent, the mainstream media have proven to be very tame and amenable to being terrorized by him and Meghan, and therefore will not speak the truth about them. Sorry, while the internet will continue to speak the truth about them. And Harry and Meghan seem to think that if this is all about protecting their reputation. This is about furthering their facade, which we all know is a load of codswallop. But he is like a bull in a china shop. There's no stopping him. And let him continue, because he's a great, sorry, can I finish that? He is a great proponent for why we need free speech, because Hitler, Harry, would otherwise have us totally muzzled.
Yep. And that's why we have the First Amendment. But look, or at least they have the First Amendment in the US. My God, I wish we had an equivalent here in the UK, because that's why he's using all the lawfare. And as I've said to you before, Lady C, I might go and give evidence in January, because I'm not prepared for him to deride British journalism. But I want to show you how the interview ended, Lady C, because, as I say, Aaron Ross Sorkin gave Harry such an easy ride. But Harry, who is becoming increasingly paranoid and weird and struggles in social circumstances, decided that for some reason Ross Sorkin was trying to trap him into an answer. And as a result, he really, really struggles here. Let's watch. But first, you know how I often talk about the need for free speech to be protected. But I've been increasingly thinking of the need for personal protection online from snoopers, bad actors, and hackers. I'm delighted to tell you I've now found the fail-safe solution. But what's more, this VPN, or virtual private network to use the full term, is also a life changer when it comes to providing you entertainment and information from anywhere in the world, wherever you are. Let me introduce you to Surfshark, an incredible and easy-to-use service that encrypts all your internet traffic, meaning your online activities stays safe so you can shop, stream, browse, and conduct your banking online in complete privacy. But the benefits of Surfshark go way beyond keeping you safe online. So this is what's amazing about a VPN. It allows you access to your favorite entertainment and news shows and channels from anywhere in the world, wherever you are, including, by the way, to all the big streaming services like Hulu and iPlayer and HBO Max and Peacock and Netflix and Amazon Prime and Disney Plus, which may not be available in your particular area. But within seconds, you can be watching as if you're in another country. It's truly amazing for sport as well, because if you're traveling for work or on holiday, you can watch all of your favorite content from home without worrying about the geo blocks. This is also an insurance policy against creeping censorship in many countries like France, where Rumble has been banned for many months now. So this is all about watching anything, anytime, anywhere. It is true freedom. A VPN can save money too, because think, when you are shopping online, you can get the best deals from anywhere in the world, because some websites change their prices depending on where you are surfing from. There are other benefits of Surfshark too. It works for your whole family because you can have unlimited devices. So an entire household can stay safe with just one subscription. And there are over 3,200 servers in over 100 countries, meaning there's a world of choice at your fingertips. The other great thing, and I know many of you, this is the first time that you may have thought about using a VPN, and you really must get one, but it has 24/7 customer service. So you can go to surfshark.com/outspoken for an extra 4 months of Surfshark at an unbeatable price. What's more, Surfshark are so confident they're the best VPN in the world that you can give it a try for a full 30 days. And if you're not entirely satisfied, you will get your money back. So go to surfshark.com/outspoken for an extra 4 months of Surfshark at an unbeatable price, or you can just click in the link in the description box below. But now, back to the show.
If we have this conversation 30 years from now, what do you want to be known for?
And how many years?
30.
Why 30?
Can you do maybe 5, 10? What would you like to? I'm saying.
What are we known for?
Yeah, when this is all said and done?
He has no idea.
What is Prince Harry going to be known for?
I don't want to put my finger on anything specific. I think I know what you're trying to get at. There's some sort of he's going to take on the media.
No. I'm not trying to go anywhere. I honestly say it was a completely just open question for me. I genuinely was curious, and I'm very curious when you look at your life and everything that's happened to your life and everything that you've gone through and everything you want to accomplish from here, what that feels like, what that looks like to you.
I think the world is moving so fast, it would be naive of me to put my finger on anything specific. But the main goal for me at the moment is being the best husband and the best dad that I can be. One of the reasons why I am not so much stuck in litigation, but the reason why these things have happened and any of the other moves and everything else, and what I believe to be fair and justified criticism towards institutions, perhaps government, media, and alike, is because of my 10 years military and the values and principles that I live by. And it's not something that I want to ever shrug off. It is becoming increasingly hard for I think for people who are valued, not valued, but have values and certain principles to stick to those as the world starts to whatever you want to call it, change. But that to me is the thing that means the most to me, and the thing I want to be known for, is that no matter what was happening around me, that he stuck to his values, and he always stayed true to that.
That is a troubled man. Lady Colin Campbell, a very troubled man.
Well, he is paranoid. He is
Very.
paranoid. And he has exhibited paranoid symptoms, for years. But he has become increasingly paranoid under the administrations of the hustler. Sorry, his wife. Sorry. and it doesn't help that he's aided and abetted himself with ayahuasca, Doria, superb weed, because it's all of it has obviously affected him. And when Harry has the unmitigated goal to use military values, when in the military he is absolutely deplored and despised, aside from anything else, he was disrespectful of his commander-in-chief. He broke the cardinal rule of being ex-military, which is to count the chess pieces on the board. And
boasted about his kill list.
Yes, and I was trying to be diplomatic. And I mean, but he's so abrasive as well. He never used to be abrasive, but Meghan is extremely abrasive, and the poor man asks him a perfectly simple question, which he could have answered very simply instead of really. But Harry is displaying how paranoid he is, how arrogant he is, how entitled he is, and how stupid he is. And I mean, let's thank God that he was number 2, because if he'd been number 1, I don't think the monarchy would survive past him. That's for sure.
No way. Absolutely not. Thank you so much for watching Dan Wootton Outspoken. Please click on my face just to the bottom left to subscribe to this brand new independent news source and turn on the notification bell so you'll be alerted to our brand new live shows, uncancelled interviews, and special royal episodes. Outspoken is also now available as a podcast, so you can listen to the show every weekday on the go, wherever you are.